We're waiting for the recording. All right, so we have it set, so please watch the screen. All right, okay, so let's go back to our file and go back to our film. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that. Did you notice, what are some of the things you noticed about that video? Did the sphere and the cone have the same diameter? I think that's the key. All right, so if you look here, what do you think? How do you think this relates to creating the formula of a volume of a sphere? What do you think the formula is? And let's see if you can find out if you're right. Thinking, thinking, thinking. All right. The volume of a three-dimensional figure is the number of unit cubes required to fill it completely. Remember, if you have a ball that's filled with air, did you ever have it see a beach ball? If it's filled up with air, it's a lot bigger than when it's shrunken, right? When you have no air in it, because that has volume in it. And we're measuring the volume inside the ball, not just the shell. That's what we say when we want volume. All right, the volume of a sphere is 4/3 pi times the cube of the radius r. Okay, so here's the radius r. What do you think? What do you notice about that formula? What's a little different? Okay, two things that get me right off the bat is it's 4/3 instead of 1/3. So it's actually it's a number, it's an irregular fraction, right? So improper fraction, excuse me, an improper fraction. And also it's cubed. It's cubed. We're not squaring it. Most of our formulas up to now, we've squared. So, or just did pi. Well, now we're moving into another dimension because as you can see, when you're working with a sphere, you need more than one radius because you've got way more direction. So we're not just measuring a flat area. Hold on, I have a ball somewhere. I dropped it. I have a football, but that's not going to be of any help for us right now. I have a basketball. This one's shortly out of air. So as you can see, it's kind of flattening out as it is, right? But let's assume that it's filled with air. And as you can see, we need a radius. We need a radius for this way. We need a radius for this way. And we need a radius. We got, and we need a radius for, okay. So 1, 2, and so you've got 3 radiuses you need. 3 radius because we've got more room. So whereas if it was a box, we'd do the base times the height times the length. This is a circle. We don't have a base, right? We make the base. We make the base by doing math. So here we go. So we need the radius 3 times itself 3 times. So if that radius was 2, 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8. So all of a sudden we have 8 times 4/3, and you get 32 over 3 equals a volume. So divide 32 by 3. What is that? It's 9 and something, right? Okay, very close. Wait. Maybe it's 10. Okay, so let's try the formula together. Oh, look, their example is very close to my example, so we'll get to try the math with a calculator. So I'm going to share my calculator screen. All righty, you can see my calculator. I am going to go to my formula page just because, just like you, I don't want to mess it up. So I'm going to do, my radius is 2.1, right? So I'm going to go 2.1, and then I need that cubed. So instead of hitting this square button here, I go and I hit this X to the Y. And what I do there is I make that a 3, okay? I do that as 3, and that'll give me my cube up here. You can see our little caret, and we know we're going to cue it. You probably have a TI calculator, and if you do, that's great. That will do this as well. So you might want to play with it to see how. So I've got 9.261. Very close to the 9 that I was talking about, or the 8 that I was talking about earlier, right? Okay, so let's go. So we have that times, we have cubed our r. Now we've got to multiply it by pi, which is 3.14. Okay, so we have 29.07954. We're not going to round it at this point. And then what I do for my calculator to get that 4/3 is I multiply it by 4, and then I divide it by 3. Okay. Another way you could do it, you could multiply it by 1.33 or 1.34. But to me, this is just the easiest way. So you have to make sure to do all those steps. It's not that hard. They're all written out, right? So you get your radius cubed. Easy peasy. You got that done. You multiplied by pi. You've multiplied by pi a million times now. At least, maybe a billion. I don't know. I haven't been counting, but lots. And then you multiply it by 4/3. Multiply it by 4, divide it by 3, or multiply the whole thing by 1.33, whichever is easier for you. And you'll get the answer of 138.7, or I'm sorry, not 138, just regular 38.77. All right. So if you need to pause and look at any of those steps, go ahead and do it. All right, let's try. We're going to write the formula out. Okay, the formula is right here. Just move that baby. Okay, let's go back to our files. Got a little ahead of myself there. So this is what we did. We took this formula. See that formula? And we put it up here. Volume. Okay. Volume equals 4/3 times pi times our diameter, which is 2.1. We know that because of this. And then we multiply that times, or we don't, we cube that, right? So we put our caret and we put a 3 at the top of our caret. That's our formula. And we substitute in. Well, we've already substituted in. So we'll put that here. And then we solve. And when we solved, we got 38.77 when we round to the 100th. Okay. All right, good job, guys. All right, let's try it together. Let's try our formula again. Hold on 1 minute. I need to clear the board. Okay, so we're going to do our formula. Where's our formula, guys? It's right here. Oh boy, it's not letting me do my thing. Let's get it. We're going to do our formula. There's the formula, right? So we don't have to type that out again. So now let's type out when we're substituting in. We still don't know what volume is yet, right? Okay, so we have our volume equals 4/3 times pi times half the diameter, which is the radius of 3.5. And then that, use our caret cubed. Okay, so let's solve that. Go ahead and put it in your calculators while I'm putting it in mine. The one thing I have to remember though is orders of operations. I have to do the exponents first. I'll show you my calculator, why not? Okay. So just to remember, a quick remember, if I want to do a cube, I hit this X with the Y, and then I put in a 3 because I want to cube it, right? I get 42.875. I multiply it by 3.14. And we're not done yet. We multiply it by 4 for the 4/3, and we divide it by 3. So we're making that 4/3 perfect. Okay, so let's check our answers. Let's make sure that we have exactly what we're supposed to have. And let's see if the answer's on the next page. It's not, but we're right. We're right. We have it. It's 179.5, and we're to round to the 100th, it would be 50. So we're going to just leave it at 50. Okay. All right, we have another option here. Let's see if you could figure out the answer on your own. That's a pretty big cube, guys, but it's correct. Did you get this? Did you get this? If you solved, the answer is A. The answer is A. When you get the radius of 20, you get 10, and you cube that, and that's 1,000. So your answer, when you do all the math, your answer is A. Okay, let's try one more. Let's see if you have it. Hold on one moment, please. Have folks talking in the background. Sorry, guys. All right, so what do we have here? We have a diameter of 15. So we're going to take that and make 7.5. We're going to cube it. I'll show you on the calculator. Use this x to the y and change that y to 3. And then that multiplied by 3 times 3.14. Multiply it by 4 equals divided by 3. Okay, let's see. Is that answer available? Do we have that answer? Going back to our files. Go back to playing. Do we have something very, very close? They rounded theirs. It came to 1767.1, very close to what we had, within a point out of thousands. That's really good. So we're going to take that answer. You got this. It's D. It's D. If you did not get D, you might want to stop and check your work and see if you could get D. All right. Just so you know, especially in times like this when we're having trouble, maybe you get on and decide I want to keep up with my work, but it's 10 o'clock at night and you can't get a hold of me and you have a question. We have a free online tutoring here. It's called Tutor Me, and it provides live online tutoring for kids at our school. And what's really cool about it is you're going to connect within 30 seconds to a tutor 24 hours a day. Okay? All you have to do is go into ClassLink and click on Tutor Me, the icon. You may have to download the icon once you're in there, but once you're in there, you can, and you get it downloaded, you're good to go. I understand they're very good, and they can help you day or night. Also, again, this could change because we, in case you didn't notice, have some weather problems, right? So I'm sure you did. So Monday we didn't have school anyway, and we ended up not having school. We're not having school this week. However, this was a work that was scheduled to be done this week. So if you can keep up with it, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. And in the meantime, we will see you soon. Okay? So thank you so much. Please remember to save your slides. And this is actually a Blackboard page. I'm going to be honest, we're in Neuro. I'm not exactly sure how to save slides here, but you will have the recording to go back to if you need it. Thank you. And we're so glad that you came today. If you have any questions, feel free to send me an email or again, contact Tutor Me for any questions. And we will be having class again next week. And in the meantime, have a great week. Make the best out of it. And if you have any pictures that you want to send me about how you've spent your week, I'd love to see it. Ask mom and dad for permission and we'll share After I get a few of them, we'll share them with the class, okay? So your friends can see what you've been up to. Have a great day. Thank you. Bye.